So the results are in. I uploaded the very first video for Creator Lab project, and the analytics and data might surprise you. They surprised me. Now, did I make a lot of mistakes in that first video? Yeah. Do you want to know what they are? Let's go take a dive into the experiment. Hi everyone, my name's George. Everyone calls me G, and this is the Creator Lab project. We are running an experiment where we are taking a brand new YouTube channel, this channel, from zero all the way to success and to see how far we can take it. Welcome to week 2. So week 2 is pretty good. It's fresh, it's easy, got a little bit better, and let's talk about that first week. So if you haven't already seen it, obviously just go back and have a look at week 1 video. It was crazy. I made some mistakes, and probably the biggest mistake I believe that I made is reading off a script and being super robotic and not being myself. I had a script and I'd written it all out, and I was trying to literally remember this script like an actor would read a screenplay. But I picked it up and I was looking at this script and recording a bit of a sentence, forgetting the next line, stopping recording. In the editing process, I must have made over 100 cuts just to do an 8-minute video. And it was crazy. It made the process a lot harder than it needed to be, and it didn't feel genuine, I guess. It didn't feel real. It felt very robotic, very manipulated and managed. It didn't feel as genuine as what I wanted it to feel. The script was mine, I wrote it. I'm just not used to being in front of a camera when there's no one else around. And that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to get into the steps you need to make your own YouTube channel so that you can grow from zero and go to success. So let's break down these steps on what we actually need. So this week, we're going to go over 9 steps that you need to do before you upload your first video. Now, I know that's going to sound crazy and long, and it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. But you've got to break it down and you've got to address each one to make the process easier on yourself. It's something I had to do from last week to this week, and I lost sight of that. And you can see the results in that week 1 video. It was pretty cringy. So step 1 is the why. Why are you creating a YouTube channel? What do you want out of it? What's your reason for starting your own journey? Like me, starting this own experiment. My why is to help other people. I'm trying to make the mistakes and show the evidence real time so that you don't have to. So that you can come back to this video when you're at week 2 of your journey and compare the two and go, oh, well, hey, look, that's where G is in week 2 video. I'm in the same place. This is great. It's not as daunting. You don't feel like you're as alone as what you think you are if you've got someone to sort of go through it with you. So figure out your why, figure out your purpose, and write it down somewhere and have it there as a constant reminder. Put it on a post-it note, stick it on your monitor, put it on your notes page, wherever you need to put it. But figure out your why, really refine your why, and you might be surprised with your answer. Why don't you guys drop your answer, give me your why in the comments below, and let's look at them together. Okay, step 2. Let's look at the idea. Now, for this channel, this idea is to grow a YouTube channel from scratch, from zero, all the way through to success, through the 2 tiers of monetization, going to tier 1, tier 2, being fully monetized, and then seeing how far we can go with the project until we kind of reach some success. Now, success is measured differently from everybody. So is your idea. So your idea needs to be as refined as possible so that you can reach your target audience. For me, I'm trying to grow a channel from nothing. And I'm doing it real time. So I'm doing it week by week and showing you realistic results as they are happening. I'm not doing 6 months worth of filming, having that already uploaded, doing all these things in the background and then showing you a success after 6 months, or here's how you grow a YouTube channel in a year. No, my idea is to do it real time, to do it in front of you, fully transparent, so that you can actually see the progress. But that's my idea. What's your idea? Let's say you're interested in gaming and you want to start a YouTube channel that's just video games. Okay, that's great. But is that going to refine your idea enough to get the success you actually want? It's easier than you think. You like gaming, awesome. What style of gaming do you prefer? Is it survival crafting? Is it open world? Is it first person shooter? Then your idea is getting more refined. Are you doing tips and tricks? Are you doing how-to videos? Are you doing loot exploration or build exploration? Refine your idea, get it down, write it down, and then we're going to make that happen. Okay, step 3. Be realistic and have a realistic time frame. What do I mean by a realistic time frame? Okay, so what I did last week, at the end of last week, I went back over my video and I obviously wasn't happy with it. Now, the question I asked myself was, is this realistic, and is a year a realistic time frame? So I went and watched some other creators that I've admired over the years. They're quite big now, and they're, you've all got them, your favorite channels you like to go to and the ones you like to revisit. When was the last time you went back and watched their first video? And how long ago was it? Some of those creators have been doing this for a long time. And the benefit of it is, you can look back and see their first video, which might be 15 to 20 years ago, and you can see how far they've come. And that's part of the realism. Have a look at the time frame that it's taken people to go from where they first started, like us last week, to where you're watching them at home now. Hugely successful, making millions, that sort of thing, if that's what you're into. It's pretty cool. But the time frame isn't as realistic as I thought it would be. I thought, yeah, okay, my timeline might be, 6 months we can get this to somewhere. But that's not realistic. I think realistic with YouTube is you need to plan it over a year period, a 5-year period, and maybe a 10-year period, so that you've got some sort of estimate and you can understand how long it's really going to take. It's not as simple as picking up a camera, hitting record, dumping that onto YouTube and uploading, and then being insta-famous, going viral overnight. That's not going to happen. So I ask yourself, do your research, figure out what your niche is, and think about a realistic time frame. Which brings me to step 4, the mistake I made on my week 1 video. Be yourself. Above everything else, above all the scripts, above all the analytical data, above what you see on YouTube today, be yourself. People will come into your channel, but people will stay if you're genuine and you're real about it all. So be yourself. Don't have a script. Have some ideas. Jot down a structure on how you want that video to go. But you know the content. That's why you're making a YouTube channel, because you understand the content and you want to share that knowledge that you have with other people. And I kind of got a bit sidetracked last week, where I was so gripped in fear and nervousness and was so worried about getting a video out, was so worried about lighting and camera work and quality and editing that I lost sight of actually being myself. And you need to get comfortable in front of a camera. So just do it and really just be yourself. Like, be genuine. It'll work. which takes us into step 5. Okay, now this might sound weird, but don't compare yourself to other big creators that you see. At least not where you see them now. What do I mean by that? I mean, you're in your chapter 1 phase. Right now we're at chapter 2, or in our week 2 phase. We're in our second video phase. We're just starting out. And like I mentioned earlier about going back and watching some of your big creators that you admire, you go back to their first video and see what it looks like. Then you can compare it to yours. So compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 1. Don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 50. They're not going to look the same. You're going to lose your motivation. You're going to feel disheartened, and you're going to feel like a failure. And that's not what you're going to do. Uploading your first video is probably the hardest step of the whole process of being a YouTube creator. It's starting that needs to happen. You need to start your chapter 1. So watch your comparisons. That's why I'm doing this video. If you're at week 2, you can compare it to this video. See what it's like. Go, geez, is my week 2 the same as G's week 2? Maybe there's something I can work on, or maybe I'm doing something a little bit better. Try and flip it and be positive about it. Step 6, always be taking notes. And I mean always. I've got an example for you. This is my phone, and these are some notes that I took at 4:17 a.m. I got that creator brain where I woke up, my brain started kicking into overdrive, and I couldn't get it out of my head. Now, the easiest way to solve that problem is to pick up your phone and start thumbing those ideas down. They might not be ideas that you use tomorrow, but they might be ideas that you use in a week's time, or 2 weeks' time, or 50 weeks' time. Well, they're just ideas, but get them out of your head, get them onto paper, use a notebook, use your phone, use whatever it is you have to use. Get a napkin, write it on there. I've heard there's some pretty good ideas on there. Always be taking notes. Don't ever stop, okay? Because you can revisit those notes over and over again, and you can see if you need to elaborate on them and take them even further, or break them down even more. Or they just might be irrelevant. You put a line through it. But always be taking notes. Step 7, scheduling. Okay, we've all got busy lives. Depending on what you've going on, you might be a stay-at-home mum with 5 kids. You could be a worker in a mine. You could be a school teacher. You could be a police officer. You could be anything. You've got a life. Everything outside is still going on. You can't avoid it. So you need some proper scheduling. Write down how many hours you can commit to your YouTube channel. That's the biggest thing you can do. How much free time do you have without burning out? That's probably the biggest issue I've seen with content creators over time, is the burnout factor. You'll see YouTube creators go and they'll be going for years, and then all of a sudden you see these giant breaks, or you'll see them step away and put up a post saying, hey, I need a break. I've got to step away for a month, or I've got to step away for 6 months, because they're burnt out, because they're burning the candle at both ends, and they're eventually going to run out of juice. So, scheduling. Look at your Monday to Friday. Treat this as a job. Get a calendar, write down everything you need to do, figure out where you can spend that free time, and use that free time into your YouTube channel. It's a passion, right? That's why you're doing this, because you enjoy it and it's fun. So schedule out your days. You know, Monday for me is a research day where I'll research stuff on the internet about what I want to do, what I want to make, or how I'm going to edit, or any of those sorts of things. That's my research day. It's a bit easier, it's a bit lighter, and if you've got other commitments, you can address those commitments and still do your research at the same time. Tuesday for me is a filming day. So the video you're watching right now, this is actually shot on a Tuesday, but I won't have it uploaded until Friday. Wednesday for me, I've got life stuff on a Wednesday, so chances of me doing a lot on a Wednesday aren't going to be that ideal. So I pick Wednesday as a bit of a day off. Thursday's an editing day. I literally do most of my editing on the Thursday, and Friday's upload day. So Friday we double check, triple check, make sure we've got it all squared away, have our thumbnails ready, and we're going to upload. And then the Saturday I use as a bit of a review process. I think every plan you have, at the end of that plan, you need to review what you're doing. So after I upload, I go back and I review what I've done, and I see if it's working, and I see if I need to make any changes to it. Then Saturday and Sunday, I also use as a bit of a rest day. And if there's anything that I need to fit in, whether it's filming some shorts or some reels or some B-roll footage, then that's what I kind of use the weekend for. But I also use the weekend to spend it with my family. This is just a project. It's what I like to do. It's how I have fun. But it's not my life. It's not be all end all consuming. You still have a life, and everyone out there still got a life and still got things to do. So make sure you're scheduling your downtime too. You don't want to burn out. Okay, step 8. Get started. I think I sat in this area for longer than I needed to. Some people call it analysis paralysis. It's about you having a fear of starting, or even a fear of failure before you've even begun. And that's not what you need. Just get started. Your first video might be terrible, but you started, and you've probably beaten 90% of the population because they didn't even want to start because they were too nervous to do it in the first place. So you've already taken the biggest jump of all by getting started. The process with YouTube isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and you really need to understand that. You can't just get out of the gate, post 2 videos, expect to go viral and earn millions of dollars. But it's a grind that you're going to kind of enjoy. Each week, post a video, and then remind yourself every week, I'm going to improve one thing this week. Then the next week, you'll improve another thing, and before you know it, it'll be like second nature, and it'll feel like breathing. For me, the thing I changed this week was my interaction with the camera. I think if you watch last week's video and you compare it to this video, I think you'll see some change. It's not as scripted and clunky and robotic. It's fun and it's enjoyable, and I like what I'm doing. Which takes us to the last step. Before you start filming, step 10, have fun. And I mean that. Have fun. Enjoy what you're doing. This is a project that you're meant to have a passion for, and passion involves fun. So have fun while you're doing it, because it shows. It's on the camera, and if you enjoy what you're doing, people will come from miles to see it. It's entertaining. So do that. Okay. We've gotten to the stage where we're going to go and review week 1. Now, the caveat on that is that this week, it won't be a full 7-day review cycle because we haven't had 7 days in between uploading the video and me filming this video, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a bit of an inception moment. But we'll look at the analytics, we'll break it down, we'll show you the day-to-day stuff and see what's happened with week 1's video. And then we'll move on and get ready for week 2's analysis. So let's go. Okay guys, welcome in. This is the Creator Lab Project YouTube page. This is how it's set up, and I'll go through the setup of what I did in next week's video. That's where we're going to start. But this is the project. We're going to look at the analytics from week 1. As you can see, the project's brand new, and this is the very first video that was done, and we have 1 short that was done, and we have a playlist as well, which I'll explain what that is in next week's video. So where we're going to go, you can either come down here in the left-hand column and look at YouTube Studio. This is all live, so you guys can see exactly what I see, and you can see all the data. I'm not hiding anything. This isn't one of those videos where I'm just going to show you a big success story. This is what it looks like. So we had week 1 video. So this was posted on, go to content, this video here was published and posted on the 6th of March. Today is the 10th of March. So like I said, I'd like to have like a 7-day block each week of data. Obviously, because this is the start of the project, it's hard to get a week of data if I'm trying to make weekly videos as well. So it's a Tuesday here for me. And when we do next week's video, I'll come back and show you what a week's progress looked like on this video. But for now, this is all the data I have available. So I'm going to show you where we're at. Go up to where you'll start when you go to YouTube Studio. This is what it'll look like. It's a creator dashboard or a channel dashboard. It shows you any sort of data that's been collected about your project and about what you've done. So as you can see, we have got current subscribers 10. Obviously that's plus 10 in the last 28 days. Because, well, we don't have any more data to collect, and neither will you. Your channel's brand new. And this data, it'll kind of even out a bit as the more data you collect and as time goes on. But right now, this is what it'll look like. Something similar. So this is the latest video that we put up. It's the only short we've put up. And when we go to content and we go to shorts, this will show us again the data on this. So as you can see, we released this on the 7th of March. So that was the next day. So this has only been up for 3 days. Okay. Now, as we know, long form videos, they have a slower burn, right? And if you don't know, they have a slower burn. So that video is up there forever. People will see that over time, and that may grow as people go back to your video or don't go back to your video or whatever. Now with shorts are a bit more time critical. Now we'll talk about shorts in next week's video as well, just so you've got an understanding of how shorts work. Okay, let's go to the analytics. Okay, this is the overview. This is probably the bit that we'll look at the most. And we'll update the scoreboard that I'll stick up when I edit this. I'll stick it up in the video so you guys can see that. So this is on the short, right? So on the short, it's had 760 views, watch time of 1.5 hours, and we've got 10 subscribers. Now, the 760 views, as you can see, nothing happened. This is where we posted it. On the 7th of March. Then we had a peak of views and then that slow decline of views as people kind of stopped watching it, and 8th of March. So shorts are only gonna get content for about a 24-hour window, which is why you'll see a lot of people saying, hey, you know, post a short every day, same day, that will increase your views. Now, if we look at the long form content that we made, so that being this one here in videos, so you go up to content, go to videos, and then here we've had 13 views, 28 impressions, impression click-through rate. We'll talk about click-through rate in another video, and the average view duration. It's only 1:42 minutes. So here we are here on our timeline, absolutely nothing going on. Boom. We've got something happening around here where we kind of kicked off the channel. Now we didn't do anything, and then we uploaded a video and we had 7 views, 3 views, 0 views, and look, we got a couple more. Here is another 3 views. So over the time since the 6th of March, we've had a total of 13 views with those other stats. Now, if you look down, you can see how people found your content. So how did they find your videos? We look at the channel page, we can look at browser features, direct or unknown, external or other. But most people have seen the video because they came to the page. Top videos, obviously this video because it's the only one we've got as a reference point. And like I said, that'll change over time as well. So if you guys want to look into your analytics for your own channel, just come down to the analytics tab on the side. We'll click on that. The best bit from here is to go see more, right? So if we click on this, or we click up to advanced mode, it'll launch this window here. Now, this is just a little bit more of an in-depth video. Now you can add comparisons and do all that sort of stuff. Don't worry about any of that. For us, for transparency on this channel, this is kind of like what we're going to look at, and it's kind of where we're going to build that analytical scoreboard over time. As you can see down here, we have our views for our short, so our total number of views. So our total number of views for our short was 474. Our total views overall was 760, and that's because we got to add in the 13 views on our Creator Lab week 1 video. Our watch time, you can see the watch time over that duration. Obviously the watch time on your short is probably going to be higher than your long, because some people might click into your content and then realize, hey, that's not for me, and they might click through. Or it might be that kind, friendly view you've got from one of your mates that's clicked on your video just to help you out, and obviously they're not into content creation, so they kind of bail from your video. But it's week 1. Cut yourself some slack. The thing I think that is really helpful at the moment is we've had 13 views on our main long form content, but we have 10 subscribers. Now that's a pretty good percentage rate of how many people have watched your long form content and how many people have decided to subscribe to your channel. That's great. Now, the trend isn't going to stay that way. It's going to go up and down. These graphs are like a roller coaster. Okay, so strap in. Okay, we'll talk about impressions and we'll talk about click-through rates in a whole nother video. But for now, that's how you get there if you want to have a deeper dive into your analytics so that you can see how you've gone. So this graph will show you the short. It will also show you the long form content. So here is the two graphs compared to each other, the blue line being your short and the green line being your long form content. And we'll compare that over time and see how that changes. If you've enjoyed this content, it'd really help out the experiment. You can click the subscribe button. Okay, it's free, it's right next to my name down the bottom. Just click on the subscribe button. Let's make this experiment as real as we can make it, and let's see if we can really grow this channel so that you guys can grow your own. That's why we're doing it. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next week for week 3 of the experiment.